You can call the Department of Children and Families right now on your neighbor and say, hey, my neighbor does the following. Boom, 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 boom. I want to remain anonymous. You know?
Just like, what's that, the term?
Yeah.
What up, guys? We're in downtown Winter Haven today. Just checking out what the city's looking like right now. It's around detail officer time, so see who got stuck with this piece of cake of a detail. There's the old water tower there. And I just got off the phone with the deputy chief of WHPD. Asked him some questions. I'm sure I'll be posting that soon. Was cordial on the phone. I'm not sure about some of the answers he was giving me, though. Did mention that they had this thing that's like a citizen academy starting in January if I really wanted to learn the operations of the police department. Of course, in order to do that, you have to get fingerprinted and ID yourself, and they probably do a background check and all this other kind of shit because you have what they call access to the building, which I don't think they would ever give me just because of what I'm doing. But, you know, if I'm willing to go surrender my fourth again and do all but a cavity search, they would probably be more than willing to do all that and then deny me anyway. This building here, they've been doing construction on for a hot second. Looks like they're getting pretty close to finish now. Pretty neat. There's the Ritz Theater. Alright, well, as you can see, there's the car. Now we got to find the officer. 1661. Probably seeking all that air conditioning. Run a stop sign camera here. Not that anybody would break that law with you standing here.
Oh, I know.
You'd be surprised.
Rolling stops are the best ones.
You know, I stood out in front of the PD one day around shift change. You know, only one person stopped.
Came with full stop?
Full stop.
You know, I mean, honestly, I look at people, as long as people's brakes, tires kind of cut to the smallest of stops, you know? I mean, if you think about it, there's so many...
So you use your judgment and your discretion a little more than maybe some other people do.
Oh, gosh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Like this guy. Now, he's right in front of us, right? He has a full truck light, but he stopped.
Right.
You know, I mean...
You know, something else I found out that was kind of interesting somebody told me about, because I noticed a lot of y'all's vehicles have questionable tint. And,
well, everyone's supposed to get it checked. You can't get illegal tint. You gotta have to make sure it's within state boundaries.
Really?
Yeah.
Some of it looks like, I don't know, yours, I don't know what the percentage is legal.
I can't tell you what it is, but no, it's on. I actually didn't get it tinted, somebody else did.
Oh, whoever had the car before you or whatnot?
I had a different car for a long time, and then mine was time to recycle mine, so we did.
I think it was Barrios saying something about if you have illegal tint on your car, you can't cite somebody for tint. But you're telling me that you can't even have illegal tint on your car.
We're not supposed to, no. And they're supposed to have it checked, and they're supposed to have it. They're supposed to have it checked and be within, you know. How is it you're going to get illegal tint and then not turn around and, you know, on one of our cars and then try to force it on, like, you know, this guy here or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think like me riding around.
I think I filmed the traffic stop with him on it once.
You guys be careful. Hey, are y'all gonna pull over here? You wanna talk to me?
Oh. It's just, you know, it's like if you cited someone for no muffler and then you're riding around without one.
Exactly.
What's the sense of that?
And this is also good too because you start to see a little bit of the difference in knowledge level between officers.
Well, he's making sense to the point of.
I'm not dogging him.
No. I understand, but like that's the statement it sounds like he made. If I heard you right, is him turning around saying, "If I have illegal tin, how am I going to write something for you?"
Right.
Yeah, it's just it's a moral thing. You know, it's do as I say, not as I do kind of deal. And he's right there. I give him credit for that. You know, but no, we're supposed to have it within. But you know what's funny is I thought the same thing. I said cars within. I'm like, and you put this machine on it. You gotta remember the angles and where you're seeing it at, you know?
Right.
Is the sun behind you or in front of you? Is it behind the car? Where's it hitting you? Because there'll be some cars that I'll be like, oh, look at that. And you get change of scenery, there's no background, you're like, oh, I can see right through that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta see it from more than one angle. Every picture is more than just what you and I only see here. You know, if you stand across the street, you're gonna see a whole different view.
But just like everything I'll deal with is seriously situational too, you know what I
Depends on what it is.
I've been trying to figure out the, you know, stop and frisk law is the only statute that I've found written on obtaining ID, but it sounds like from y'all's end, it's anytime you get a call, you feel like you're obligated to go run IDs and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's necessarily the truth or not.
It depends. Are you going to be doing a report, you need an identification, you ask them for an ID, sure. You know, when you're talking about like trespass, right? Because you had said something about being trespassed. What happened there?
Like I said, I was at the bus stop taking pictures, and
I feel that's where you're going with this. That's why.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was before you went over there to talk to that lady. Yeah, I was kind of. I was
seeing her like.
But no, I was up there taking pictures, and I'd done this before. And the security guy out there was talking about how you have to have permission. Well, here's the thing: it's the only public transportation that I know of in here. So that, in my understanding, that bus stop is the public should be allowed to have access there. So anywhere that I'm allowed to be without my camera, I should be able to be with my camera.
Yeah, you have access to it. And what happened?
And well, they called on us.
For taking pictures.
Taking pictures.
Okay.
Officers responded. We went through the whole spiel about.
Did he call because he thought you guys were like a threat? Like you're photographing the place trying to set it up for like a bomb attack or something?
No, but anybody can make that story up.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No, but
You know, I think that's what a lot of people say. They go, hey, why do people want to take video on this property? Are they trying to do it for an attack?
Come on, Keigan, you're losing me here.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Since 9/11, people have changed their attitudes to things. I know people go, oh, it's 9/11 so long ago, but
Yeah, but that kind of stuff has been happening since the beginning of time.
it has been. But
We just see it more now
Correct.
because
Not
of dissemination of info.
Well,
you know?
that and 2 towers came down with planes crashing into them, and a third would have came down. People didn't put into a field in the middle of Pennsylvania.
I wasn't trying to get into the whole 9/11 conspiracy thing with this guy. I was actually having a decent conversation with him and getting to ask a lot of questions that I've been wanting to stop officers and ask them. They always run, so that's why I'm calling it a walk along.
You know what I mean? It's the first time we had a major incident like that on our soil.
Yeah.
Versus, the thwarted one before that in 93 or 97, whatever it was. But you have how many thousands of people lost their life that morning? $3,000 and change, right?
Yeah.
So it takes a whole new effect. And then you see people blowing up churches or other, mass shootings and chaos in Europe that's been going on. Changes people's perspectives, man. It'll take a whole new look at things.
But when people want to start trading...
Look at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, a high school in a very affluent community. One kid decides that I want to change the world. I want to change the world. I want to be the next guy that you household name. I think it's exactly what he said in his video. I'm going to be the next household name. I'm the next active shooter. I'm the next household name. A school shooter. He's right. Walks on property and kills 17 kids, wounds triple digits. People take their security and safety a little bit different.
Yeah, but the scary thing is they're willing...
It's just a camera, and we have them all over the place.
Exactly.
But I think sometimes people, you texting with your phone out, or you sitting there with your phone, you're like, taking photos of each other, like, ooh, feel like they're taking photos of each other. Maybe he thought you were going to zoom in the property or something. and I don't know. I wasn't there.
The guy's seen me before.
Well, like I'm saying, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I just look at it. You know, like I said, you and I stand over here, and we see the street corner this direction. Stand on the opposite side of that street corner, you're gonna see a whole new angle.
Well, citizens,
you know what I mean?
Citizens like to treat you guys as feelings enforcement sometimes too, and they will try to get you to do their bidding.
When people get upset with each other, I can't tell you how many complaints we probably get called to that. Well, my neighbor said this, that, and the other, and you know, he's okay. You know?
That's why it's like I understand that there needs to be at some point some kind of trust between law enforcement and the community. But when people use stuff like I'm going to call the authorities as a threat to people,
people do that all the time.
How are you?
I'm going to call on you because I'm mad at you, and I'm going to call and say you're abusing your kids.
Right. So I mean, how are we supposed to?
DCF as a weapon.
How are we supposed to?
I hope y'all are following me and seeing that I'm trying to ask the question, well, how are we supposed to trust y'all in those situations when y'all enforce feelings? But he would never let me get it out.
You can call the Department of Children and Families right now on your neighbor and say, hey, my neighbor does the following. Boom, 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 boom. I want to remain anonymous. You know?
Just like, what's that, the term?
Yeah.
Just like, you know, if they call through 911, you can't get any reporting information. So how are you supposed to be able to face your accuser if...
It's protected by the state.
You know? But they make mistakes all the time.
But you can put in reports.
Yeah. Pull the reports, and then I've seen them make mistakes in redactions and stuff too. So.
It happens, yeah. People miss stuff, and then, you know, everyone's human, man. People don't make errors.
But that's the most important thing too, is like we all are human, but... No offense, but I see a lot more of y'all acting like robots most of the time, but that's just kind of...
Sometimes, I mean, it's hard to, and I think that's probably why Deputy Chief was probably saying, why don't you come to our Fraternal Academy, Citizens Academy, and see from a different perspective, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I'm saying, you and I standing here, we're watching this intersection. Let's go stand over there and we'll see a whole new world. We'll walk back this way.
It's perspectives, yeah, that's what it's all about.
You know, so that's the thing. So, you know, you sit there and go, oh, these guys are robots. They're doing this, they're doing that. There's statistical data and other things that I think to say, hey, I'm going to check this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
You know, people get upset. Hey, that's just a toy gun, man. That kid just got a toy gun.
No.
I've seen photos where people have taken Glocks and put them into handguns. You know, or a kid's Nerf gun. I've seen the actual photos of it.
Right.
So how can you tell me that little handgun is just that little squirt gun is just a squirt gun? It's not a, you know, something else. I mean, heck, you can go to a company and have just off the stream, you can have a gun dressed up like a Nintendo game.
Oh yeah, they come up with all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't even.
Sometimes you gotta act a little.
So I don't even carry weapons anymore. Like I used to have a concealed weapons permit and all that kind of stuff, but.
What I meant by that is I don't carry weapons because a lot of cops seem to be afraid of anything as a weapon, so the less I can do to bring harm to myself while I'm out there auditing, the better off I am. Plus, you know, any excuse to hem me up will be used doing what I'm doing.
I wouldn't take the chance of carrying stuff or like even when it comes to filming and stuff. I have all this equipment now, but for a while I was like less is more because I don't want anybody thinking that I'm, you know, the guy that was surrounded by like 9 cops in another state for picking up trash around his dorm. You gotta watch some YouTube videos, man. There's crazy stuff going on in the other parts of the country.
Here's the real thing. I don't have time for that. My thing is, you know what? When it's my time, it's my time. I'm just gonna relax instead of watching everybody else's problems.
Well, and that's true too, because they do have a lot of like just compiled dash cam, body cam videos, and watching some of that stuff might give you shell shock. But
no, I think it's just, you know, it's one of those things. Sometimes you just gotta think of it this way. If you worked in retail, would you want to go shopping?
Probably not.
You know,
that's why I don't go out to
off.
eat that much. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there you go.
My, you know, I know the service that I provide when I do my thing. So my expectations when I go out are a little, you know, I tend to nitpick a little bit, but.
Yeah, if you see some plate kind of got a weird mark on it, like, oh, he used his finger to swipe the sauce off the edge. Son of a.
Yeah, or like somebody doesn't bring me silverware before I get food. It's just little things like that. But
man, you're walking fast. Stroll time.
Slow down.
Time. Let's just stroll. Take it easy.
It's a detail. He says it's not an exercise.
Yeah, it's just stroll time.
Oh man. Well, thanks for being pretty cool, Mr. Key. What's your first name?
David.
I'm Corey, by the way.
Corey, nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
So how long are you gonna be out here tonight?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
What else are you finding when you're out here?
Basically, well, you know, I go to City Hall and stuff like that, and I pull a lot of records, and, you know, just the different government buildings around here. But I try to film traffic stops, and just stuff like that, just to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. I don't see a whole lot out here, to be honest with you. Still,
You mean like a whole lot of bad, a whole lot of stops?
whole lot of bad. No, there's stops, but there's not a whole lot of craziness I see going on, or at least I'm not. Maybe it's not on the surface, but
In general, we actually don't have a good crew of people.
I just try to observe. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with that.
Hey, gentlemen, how are you?
Nothing wrong with observation.